Hello and welcome to this video. Today I'm going to be doing a stock analysis on Taiwan Semiconductors. Now you probably know this company by now because it's quite popular, but if you don't know, they make semiconductors, which is small items that are put in basically every single piece of electronics, and they are a world leader in it and one of the only ones in the world that make the best ones. Now, as you can see, recently it has exploded quite high. If you take back from May 2023, as you can see, it was at 400 Taiwanese dollars, and now it was trading all the way up in 1,100. Then recently we did see it tumble a bit, but of course, basically every stock this period has been falling a lot because of the tariffs and all that kind of stuff. Especially here the other day, as you can see that would be on the 2nd of April. As you can see here, it just tumbled completely. So yeah, it is right now. It is laying at a previous top, so it is on a small support line. But for the day, as you can see, it is also up by 9.9%. So another great day. So yeah, quite interesting. Of course, yesterday we did see basically every stock jump a lot. As you can see up here, we have the Apple, Tesla, and Netflix stocks yesterday respectively jumped 15, 22, and 8.6%. Now, if you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. And remember, this isn't financial advice. This is purely for entertainment and educational purposes. Now, a thing I like about Taiwan Semiconductor a lot is the market leader. I prefer to invest in stocks only that are a market leader because then it's just so difficult to get into the market, and especially semiconductors. It's almost monopolized at this point, and they are building a factory in Arizona, I believe, at this point in the United States to get around some tariffs and also just to get a little away from China. Now, they do pay out great dividends. As you can see down here, you can see all these blue Ds are dividends. And as you can see down here, they pay out 2.04%, which is quite great for a company that is in the tech world, that they pay out those great dividends. Also, that they pay them out several times a year, as you can see, both in March and in December and in September and in June. So 4 times a year, you get 2%. So it's also easier to get the dividend snowball rolling, which I like quite a lot when they pay out them out more times a year than just once a year. Then that means, of course, you can buy more stocks more often if you use the dividends to buy stocks. Now, if we take a look at the earnings, as you can see, they beat them quite decently, just a bit. Last time it was still positive, but almost not positive. But it is quite great. As you can see, 4%, 4.5%, 9.1%, and 0.8%. So it's quite great. And we do see they have earnings in 7 days. I did see some speculation saying that they estimate that it's going to increase by 40% in the first quarter sales of semiconductors, which is quite insane. So we might see a huge spike here in 7 days. And as you can see, its market cap is 20 trillion Taiwanese dollars, so it is a huge, huge company. Now, as you can see, they are raking in more and more and more money, and that is simply because of their market dominance. Every single tech company basically needs to buy semiconductors from Taiwan Semiconductors. Of course, there are other companies, but they are not even as close to this size, and just the product that Taiwan Semiconductors makes is insanely great. They are one of the primary sources for both Dell, IBM, and Nvidia, so it's just beyond amazing. Now, if you take a look at the seasonals here, we can just go back, let's say 10 years, as you can see here. Huge gains basically every year. We have 25, 30, 31, 50, 56, and 81%. Of course, we also have some years where it's 2% up, and then we also have 14% as the second lowest. Then we, of course, also see some minuses, of course, 22, where basically every single stock was down. Of course, this year, where basically every stock is also down at this point. And then we had 2018. But given the track record of the past 10 years, this is insanely great. We can also go back even further. As you can see, it's just positive. The only downside with Taiwan Semiconductor is that they're so close to China. That is also why they're opening a manufacturing plant in, as I said earlier, I believe it's Arizona, but I'm 100% sure it is there. Now, as you can see for the day, it is a sell actually, but that is just because it was falling so hard earlier, and even though it is positive today. But we can also see for the month, let me get my graph straight. For the month, it is a buy. You might wonder how is it a buy given it's fallen so much. Well, that's because we did see it increasing in the start of March. We did see it increasing a bit, no, the middle of March, and then it fell. But then you could say, well, we did see it falling huge here. Let me just turn off this one. As you can see, it fell off quite hard. Yes, it did. But there is a hole in the graph, which means that the technicals isn't taking into consideration this huge drop. They only take into consideration green and green. So that is something to be wary of with these huge increases and drops. So yeah, let me just turn my estimate back on. Now the analyst rating on this is quite great. As you can see, we have 47 analyst rating, 36 strong buy, 8 buy, and 3 hold. I think that is maybe 50% up is a bit of an overreach, but It is a huge market leader, so it might well be possible that they are going to increase that much. I really couldn't say, but as you can see, overall consensus is it's going to increase. So it is a quite interesting company. I personally don't own any stock in it yet, sadly, but I would be tempted to buy. It is quite crazy just to see, but also just given the fact that we're getting into a more and more tech-heavy world, we're going to need more and more semiconductors all the time. So yeah, it is quite interesting. I definitely see the case for buying Taiwan Semiconductor at this point, even though it is trading quite high compared to earlier. But then again, look, it was all the way up in 1,100, so right now would not be a bad time to get in. Now, if you did like this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe.